Welcome back, fellow mobile gaming fanatics. I'm MyTyme. This is WWE Supercard, and I am pumped. I'm hyped because that legendary pack, we can get a legendary to WrestleMania rarity card, has 10% off for just another 6.5 hours, just less. So I'm going to start loading my credits on just so I can get those packs and save those 10%. And I'd recommend you do exactly the same. This is a disclaimer, by the way. By the time this is actually up on the internet, this will have passed, so I won't actually be misguiding you and telling you to buy these packs, okay? Just so you're aware. Because then you've got that opportunity to try and get those 10 legendary cards that you're going to have absolutely no use for. But no, wait, you will have use for them. You can stick them in the fusion chamber. So, yes. Anyway, moving on. Team event is here. Just before we go into the team event, let's show that fusion chamber again, just to show you that the credits required to complete the fusion has gone down from a previous video. They were 2,880 because it was 1 day exactly for the end of the fusion. They're now 1,190 because obviously the time has elapsed. So you can finish it now for those credits, or you could just reduce it by 5 minutes, 4 hours, or 1 day intervals, depending on how long you have remaining. So fusion chamber does change, in case you weren't too sure. You can obviously just take little bits of it off as opposed to completing the whole thing. It is up to you, although for the majority of you, I don't think you're going to be using too many credits on speeding up those fusion chambers. But just before we go there, we'll come into exhibition, show you that there is one match to go into that ladder reward, which you'll see up here, which is a random male superstar of your current rating, okay, 19,999. We'll come backwards, come down to just show you the team event very quickly and let you know that with a team event, it doesn't matter what rank your team is in, okay? So if your team is in a certain tier, let's just say you're legendary plus, your team card's legendary plus. If you play as a player and you're in WrestleMania, the first tier of WrestleMania, it is fine. When you come to draw for your cards at the end of a team PCC match, you will pick your cards from the exhibition deck, okay? So you want to put your best possible cards in here to put you in the highest tier you can, so that when you get your pulls from a PCC match, from a team PCC match anyway, you will get top tier pulls, okay? You want to increase your opportunity and the likelihood of you picking one of those cards in your tier, the best tier you can be in. So, for example, if this Triple H was bringing me out of WrestleMania Plus, then I would swap him for my next best available card. So line up your whole exhibition team with all your best cards for each position that you can. So your 4 best males, your 4 best females, and just leave them, go do the team PCC, and you're going to be able to pick from whatever tier you are in here, okay? So it doesn't matter what tier the rest of your team are in. So just bear that in mind. Now, John Cena, well, looking at this, it looks like he's going to coast it. Now, we haven't really played too much, and I have played one game in here just to try out, and it wasn't too successful. So, just so you can see, there's a lot of chat here, and to be fair to number one Stunner, I won't go for this, but he does explain how you want to kind of do your team. But unfortunately, our team haven't all done it, so this is a good example of how it goes completely, should we say, Pete Tong. And that means wrong if you're not sure. So you've got someone up here like James who's using probably 3 of his best cards, and then as we scroll down, you've got someone like myself who is using what I'm trying to do, the Survivor tier method. Coco, who's in here trying to balance. You've got Diamond probably trying to do the Survivor tier method as well. Gelvin's in the same kind of boat. And then, we've got people using their best cards again. So what that does is it means we have a mix match. We're now up at WrestleMania Plus tier, but we have a mix of cards available, which means it's going to be very difficult for us to win the plus 5 matches. So what you want to do in theory is you want to pick a tier which you can comfortably navigate around. And for example, the easiest way to do that is probably going to be in Legendary tier. And the easiest way to do that is because there's a Legendary event card, Nikki Bella, which is the best female card in that tier, which will be basically every other legendary card as long as it doesn't proc in charisma or speed if you haven't leveled her up a little bit in that. You've then got legendary normal cards, and for example The Rock, John Cena's, those kind of cards will be top tiers. the best cards in that tier, and then you've got legendary event cards. Now, to beat a legendary event card, you just need to have a single WrestleMania card. So this Luke Harper's a good example. He's all in 1900s. At least the legendary event cards were between 18 and 1900 for majority of stats. Maybe if they proc, they're going to beat some of these people, but that's the kind of idea. So without procs, you're hoping that you've got a team here that can beat the majority of legendary pro cards they're going to come up against, and that's going to get you kind of 90% win rates at +5, because you're going to be at the very bottom of Survivor tier. However, however, we are a little bit into WrestleMania Plus tier, and what that's going to mean is that these 3 cards are going to get destroyed the majority of the time, so it's going to almost be worthwhile me putting in my best cards and us just basically taking a risk. Might as well put in my best cards and move up somewhere here in WrestleMania tier, if we can still get people in the tier, because what's going to happen is when it comes to the matchmaking, it's going to be difficult, because all the +5s are going to put me up against, or put everyone in our team, should I say, up against people from WrestleMania tier. Diamond wants us to max it out, but even then it's going to be difficult. When you're maxing out your cards, you're just coming up against other people with exactly the same cards, and all it is, it's just whoever procs, basically, or whoever gets a good combo come out, a good tag team come out, whoever gets their pro divas come out. So it becomes a contest of luck, basically. But let's just click on the game anyway and see. So as you can see, we're in I can't click on you. We are in this tier here. So WrestleMania Plus, this badge would signify WrestleMania, and obviously we don't need to worry about the Survivor. So ideally, if I could find someone which just had the WrestleMania badge, that would be perfect, but it's going to be very unlikely. Most of WrestleMania badges will be kept for the +3s and the +1s, even though we're not too far into WrestleMania Plus. We're not going to get those kind of matches, so I'm just going to have to just pick someone and go with it. So we'll just pick the next one, maybe. Okay, Biggie Smalls, great. So let's see what happens here. Whatever happens at the end of this, I will be getting my Mel. Super awesome. Other than that, just a top tier card would be great. You know, I'm not gonna ask for too much. Not gonna get too excited or anything. So power speed. Now, if I knew that I was gonna be guaranteed male superstars, I would keep the AJ Styles and throw away the first game. But I can't afford to do that. I'm gonna have to go and put him out, and yet this is going to pretty much be a lose. I knew that wasn't going to be a good thing for me to do, to put him out, but if I'd got stuck with divas afterwards, like a diva tag or something, it was a definite loss. So it's a loss anyway. So as you can see here, I'm going to have to resort to probably putting the best cards, or either playing +3s. That's the two options here. If we're not going to be going for the top cards, then fine, no problem. I'll just play some +3s just to grind a little bit through, something to do. But let's have a look. Let's see what we get anyway for that Mel Star. So no good there, no points. You ready? Who do you want? I've just got Triple H Pro, so, or got him 2 Pro. Any Pro, maybe an Edge would be good. Edge or Xavier Woods. Quite happily get him as a Pro. Let's have a look. Who have we got? Titus O'Neil. Okay, not the end of the world. It'll be a Pro. It'll be a Pro. One of the worst cards in the tier, but nevertheless still a Pro. I can work on getting him leveled up. He'll go into the. He can go. Could he go into my King of the Ring? For the time being, he could do. Yeah, for the time being, he could do. Definitely make my Road to Glory deck as well. So yeah, I'm happy. Not going to complain about getting a Pro. Even if it was that bloody Luke Harper, I would have still accepted it. So let's just come out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to very quickly pause this, come back in with a slightly change my deck up and see if it helps us in our lineup. Okay, so I'm back after that, just to show you I've changed my team up. Team cards I've put in here. So if we go back, you'll see what difference it's done. Not a massive difference, obviously, but it's brought us from the you know, around here in WrestleMania plus 2 up to the middle. So hopefully now, if I'm coming up against WrestleMania plus decks again in the plus 5, if any of my cards are now picked out, that is going to give us a better chance of winning that specific match. So we're just going to go ahead and play another game just to see if that is the case. We'll go straight into, well, I know Vermilion City are probably going to be half decent. So let me just come, okay, one more fist. Then again, we'll just play him. Alright, King Strong Star. I have absolutely no idea how good these guys are, but we're going to click on them just to see. Here we go, come on. Let's see if any of my cards come up. Well, obviously, I know the Charlotte, but it's going to be hard to tell if it's okay. So none of my cards have come up. Power and speed. We'll just throw out this Charlotte and we'll lose from the proc, which is fine. Can't do anything about stuff like that. Toughness, no choice then but to go for a win. We're going to win this one. If we get a single male here, we've got a chance. We've got a chance because there was no event out there. Golden Bennett. Lord, give me mercy. This is why it is very hard to do. This is one reason again why I don't really get too involved in team PCCs now, because I can put the time in. I could easily get 4,000. Well, we've got a day. Yeah, easily get 4,000 points, but it's it's too frustrating to do it this way. It's too frustrating. I can't. Everyone either has to do the same thing, be coherent, and put in a deck that we can consistent. I mean, look at this. That you can consistently beat people. All I've got to do is get a male tag now, and it puts me in. It puts me in a whole lot of bother. See, I have to throw these two away because, and just pray it's a diva match. Just pray it's a diva match. Okay, so I got lucky there. The only reason we got away with that one is because the match system didn't completely screw me over with the picks. Had to do that, but it's just another example. You don't mind having a couple of commons in there if they're to bring the deck down or whatever. If everyone else is using their best cards or something like that, but there's got to be some kind of coherent work if you're going to play plus 5s. It's too difficult otherwise. I mean, if all 9, 8, 7, 10, however many people are in on the same strategy, the same kind of cards, you know, same idea about the kind of power of the cards you're using, it's going to help you massively. I mean, like here, for example, because it's very rare to get 2 diva matches, you're going to have to go with your best card. There's no point trying to throw away the first match. You can do it with the male superstars because there's a greater chance that you'll get a second male superstar match come out. So like here, for example, I will not throw out these two because they're compatible tag. Just in case a diva match caught the end, I wouldn't be too, should we say, confident using that Naomi. I'm going to use Nakamura, although he doesn't proc in power, and just, okay, that's lucky. Lucky it wasn't an Andre, or one of the new AJs and Charisma. So we will use the boost to the opponent, and hopefully we'll get that one. Okay, so 2 wins here from putting in my newer, they're not newer cards, but yeah, change cards. This isn't really fair because, to be fair, I've only actually played 1 game on camera and 1 game off camera before changing my cards, and I end up losing both of them. So maybe that was just unlucky. But yeah, having these cards in there is going to make it a little bit easier. So we don't, just for tip, you don't want to really be playing someone if there's 2, say, badges which are both your tier. So say, for example, WrestleMania Plus like me, if your plus 3 and your plus 5 are both the same tier, then it's generally going to mean that the plus 3 is low in the tier and the plus 5 is mid to high in your tier. So if you can find somebody who can be a plus 3 as well, then, and you see them in the plus 5 role, normally they're a good team to go against, because it doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be a lot worse than you. But what it means is they can as a +3. So for example, if you had somebody who was at the top end of WrestleMania Plus, they're never going to come up in the +3 slot, because the game's not going to put you up against people in WrestleMania Plus, etc. So, right, sorry to cut off there. I'm caught between two minds. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for, I like my lineup in here, and I think that is a pretty good tag if it comes to it. So I'm going to throw away the first card, because the computer normally uses one of its better cards. I'm going to throw away the first match because I've got some cards behind. I can win the charisma match here pretty much on my Charlotte, because in WrestleMania Plus you're going to be struggle to find too many pro divas in WrestleMania tier, and a charisma match means that I don't have the boost, so I just have to rely on AJ beating a non-event card, which he will do, and we win. So that's been 3 in the bounce, which I suppose you're probably saying, what are you moaning about? Why didn't you just put your top cards in? To be fair, if I did have a top card in, we would be playing WrestleMania Plus people rather than WrestleMania Plus. So it is still working out slightly better here. Let's just use that one bout before we go. Okay, here we go. Nexus Germany. This is a good example. Oh no, they're the silver, aren't they? Sorry. I thought they were white. Then it's so hard to tell. It is so hard to tell. I'm pretty sure that is the white background, the silver background isn't it? That's the white. That's back into silver. Nearly caught me out there. These badges are, they're horrible. They're horrible to be able to tell the difference. Okay, white. We'll just play DX Army for the sake of it. How you're doing with this? Obviously, by the time this comes up, it's probably going to be towards the end. So I should correct myself and say, let me know how you did in this event. So we're going to run out with Nakamura first, which was unlucky. Bear with me a second, people. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, people. Slight kind of technical difficulty. I didn't want to have all this background noise, so just cut off for a minute. I actually lost that game. That was my only hot streak game, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to play this team, even though I shouldn't do. Yeah, I've got so far my +10. I lost it, but then I did win the game. I'm going to persevere with this for a while. Just wait till we get a bit more feedback from a few of the other guys. That'll give you an idea of the kind of, formation to the extent that I'm going to go with. Not formation, sorry, the strategy here again. This is kind of like a bad team to have, because I don't have any backup with the divas. So I want to almost throw away the first game, but I can't really afford to. So as it's speed and charisma, and I've got a card which specialises in speed and charisma, I'm going to go out with that card. I think that's my Sami Zayn. It is. So we will win that match, which puts me one up. Now I come up with speed. Now Roman Reigns is not a good card for speed. Even as a WrestleMania card, he's not a good card. If a tag comes up at the end, I'm in trouble anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw away Dean Ambrose for now, because I'm imagining there's going to be another WrestleMania card. So it would have been, I would have lost anyway. So I've got to hope for a more favourable last match. Speed again. Okay, so we're going to have to just go to Roman Reigns and just pray that we don't have a WrestleMania card, and there we go, we win. Okay, so if I had played that the other way and I had gone to win that second match, I would have lost that game. I lost 2-1 because my Roman Reigns would have lost to AJ Styles, and then it would have been, I'd have been 2-0. It would have been 1-0, and then obviously in the last match, that Finn Balor would have lost to Daniel Bryan. So, okay, card limit reached, great, no problems about that. It's done the bug. You might have seen that just a second ago. I went from having no picks. One pick to no picks, and it still let me pick. I'm just going to very, 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 very quickly get rid of these, because I don't know if you guys found this out before or not, but not long ago when something like this happened, what's the easiest way to explain this? Basically, I found that across 2 games, I'm keeping some of these now just for the time being. I will end up getting rid of them very soon, just for the fusions, because they're obviously worth a few more points now. So I don't mind keeping them. If I'm going to do some grinding this later, I'll make some more space. But this is just for the sake of coming back into play for a minute. Yeah, when there was a bit of a bug just before the game went down for an error, I got 2 pulls very quickly from the board, and I also did the same in, was it my NBA? I think it was. I got a playoff pull from there, and literally like pull here, literally in the space of a minute or 2 from each other, and found out somebody else also done exactly the same, and in both games. And then the game was down for a little bit, and then when it all comes back up, everything's back to normal, no more quick pulls. So just in case we're in a similar situation again, I'm going to play through a couple of games. I'll leave it on cam for now and see if I can get me a board pull. Oh, this is poo. I was a little bit excited. I thought, oh, maybe we'll get the win, get that extra pick. No, once the reset's gone, if the reset doesn't pull me up a top tier card, then I am out. Damn it! Got a bad feeling about this. It's not gonna let me back in, is it? Yeah, just before these kind of things happen, if ever you're lucky enough to be on the game and this is like, it seems to be glitching out or something a little bit, see if you can play 1 or 2 games. You never know, you might get lucky. Anyway, with that, I'm going to cancel it now, guys, because I'm not going to keep you here waiting forever. Thank you for watching. Sorry this episode's been a bit longer. A few things weren't anticipated, and it's kind of like this, for example. Didn't know this was going to happen. It's back. I'm not going to bother. Was my last? Did I get a card in that last pick? Probably didn't. Already had you. Nah, didn't. Okay, so we didn't get a reset anyway. Well, yeah. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck with your team PCC. Although by the time you're getting this, is probably the end of it. So I hope you got what you wanted, and I will let you know later on what we get, and hopefully it'll be something worth reporting. If not, then never mind. There's still is it Road to Glory? Yeah, it'll be Road to Glory coming up on Thursday, and hopefully we can get something good from that. Alright, thank you for watching, people. Take care. See you all soon.